It is believed that, as a society, we don't give teachers as much credit as they deserve. Teachers play a crucial role in our world. Even decades later, people still remember the educators who changed their lives, whether by igniting a passion, believing in them, or simply being kind when no one else was. They can change minds and alter paths. They influence the way we think and what we believe. They challenge us and often shape our perspectives. Teachers are not just educators. They are mentors, role models, advocates, and nation builders. Their role goes far beyond academics and deeply influences the fabric of society.
There's a beautiful poem by Patrick Overton that I'd like to share with you. The teacher gives us the gift of learning, and through their heart we find a way. In every lesson, we are yearning to find the truths that light the day. With patience, kindness, wisdom's art, they touch the soul, ignite the spark. A gift that grows an endless start, a light that shines within the dark. Think about it, teachers are a vital part of society because they are responsible for educating children from young age, which means they influence their character and personality. Therefore, teachers help shape the adults we see every day on the streets. Teachers help students develop self-esteem and sense of identity. They often see potential in students before those students see it in themselves. There's a saying that goes, teaching is one of the professions that creates all other professions. I think we can all agree on that.
But like anything else in the world, there are two sides to every story. Now let's discuss the other side. How can a bad teacher affect us and the society? Imagine a student who is belittled, ignored, or misunderstood all the time. They may begin to doubt their abilities, leading to long-term self-esteem issues. Poor teaching can also kill curiosity and the desire to learn, turning education into a chore rather than a passion. There have been many talented and smart students who have ended up dropping out of school or wasting their potential, all because their passion was stifled. If we look at the bigger picture, poor teaching leads to students graduating without the skills and knowledge they need, weakening the future workforce. Students who feel unsupported and misunderstood may become disconnected from their communities and less likely to contribute positively. So to sum it up, teachers are among the most important people in the society. That's why good teachers should be appreciated and given credit. We need more of them.
Normally, we don't think about our teachers and where do they come from. We only think of them as our teachers who just happen to be in the class every day with no backstories. It's funny we don't think about where they come from and their individual life and how are they spending it and what are they thinking. I deeply enjoy people watching. When I'm in the bus and watch people, I daydream about their life and how they feel. The other day, I saw this man with tired eyes and a small smile on the corner of his face, and took a seat by the window, falling asleep immediately. I think he was a teacher, and if I want to write about him, I'll say, it was around 7 in the evening when winter, in all its weight, cast long shadows over the streets. Quiet darkness embraced the nearly deserted alleys as a sharp, relentless chill swept through the air. His face had reddened from the biting cold. As he walked along the pavement, passersby murmured softly to themselves, present perfect, simple present, past continuous, past perfect. Their whispered cadence echoing the lessons that still occupied his mind from the day's long hours of teaching, private tutoring sessions, and the various night classes that stitched together the fragments of his life. When he finally reached home, the gentle warmth of the room seeped into him, banishing the harsh cold of the streets. He drew a deep, weary breath. So exhausted was he that even making a cup of tea seemed an impossible effort. Slowly, he lay down on his bed, closed his eyes, and surrendered to sleep. a sleep that carried a fragile hope for tomorrow, a hope that the same endless routine of classes and lessons might eventually lead to brighter days. Behind this young teacher stood no one, not a sheltering hand, nor a supportive presence. Alone, he had fashioned his own defense against life's relentless onslaught. Yet he persisted, quiet, unassuming, and stronger than ever.
There is a book called Matilda written by Roald Dahl, published in 1988. This book is a beloved classic. It's a children's book, but we all know that children's books often carry deeper meanings behind them. The story follows Matilda Wormwood, a brilliant and precocious young girl with a love for books and learning. Unfortunately, her parents are neglectful and dismissive of her intelligence. When she starts school, she encounters the cruel headmistress, Miss Trunchbull, who terrorizes the students. However, Matilda also meets the kind-hearted teacher Miss Honey, who recognizes and nurtures her talents. Now, let's discuss Miss Honey and how she changed Matilda's life. She's not just a teacher, she's a symbol of kindness, resilience, and quiet strength. She immediately notices how bright and special Matilda is and tries to support her the best she can. Unlike Matilda's parents and the headmistress, Miss Honey believes in nurturing a child's potential. We need more teachers like Miss Honey because she represents the kind of educator who sees, values, and nurtures the unique potential in every child, something that can truly change lives. In a world that can be harsh or unjust, especially for children, teachers like Miss Honey create a safe, respectful space where kids can feel seen, heard, and encouraged to shine. She reminds us that great teachers don't just teach subjects, they shape futures.
Now, Matilda is a fictional character, but I'm sure we all know people who have experienced the same thing as her, including myself. And I would like to share that with you. When I was 10 or 11, I was such a misunderstood child. The teachers didn't like me at all. Some even hated me. My mother used to get called to school all the time because, as they said, I was terrible. The funny part is, I used to go to the same school my mother attended as a child. The headmistress hated me with a passion and constantly asked, "Why can't you just be like your mother?" This went on for a long time. We had a math teacher who was really angry and mean all the time. Her classes were just a screaming match. It's hard for me to focus if the topic doesn't catch my attention or interest me. That's just the way my brain works. So, as you can imagine, I was distracted and punished all the time. Sometimes, when I got distracted, I would draw in my notebook or write later short stories, which I eventually got caught doing. My mother was called to school and the trial began. I will never forget how they called me a fleer, a good for nothing. They told me and my mother that I would never make it in this world, that I was no good and all I could do was write stupid fantasy stories, that I wasn't smart and would never learn anything. So, you can guess the rest. My self-esteem dropped. I stopped trying completely. A school turned into a burning hell that I had to attend, and all the lessons lost their meaning, as if they were spoken in a foreign language I couldn't understand. The next year, I changed schools and I started a new year brand new. My new teacher told us she wanted to give us a test, just to see how knowledgeable we were. My hands were shaking and sweaty. I barely wrote anything down. Already convinced she would be disappointed in me too, knowing I was a failure and not smart enough. I handed in the paper with tears in my eyes and went home. The next day, my teacher handed me back the test, and on the bottom of the last page, there was a note written with a pink glitter pen. "Good job, sweetie. You're so smart, and I love the way you think." That one note shocked me to my very core. It was something I had never had from a teacher before. She believed in me more than anyone. As the year went on, the notes kept coming. She told me everything. If I ever answered anything right, she would give me gifts. She talked to me all the time as if I were grown up and her best friend. Soon enough, I became the top student in my new school, number one in every test and competition. They even put my face on the wall and gave me gifts and medals. All of that because she believed in me. All because she gave me love. That's how she changed my life forever. And I'm forever in debt to her. That's why we have to appreciate the loving, devoted teachers in our society. Because they are saving lives without anyone even noticing.